Hello，大家好，我係 Margaret and welcome to my little Cantonese corner。今日2022年11月27號星期日。Today it is the 27th of November 2022 and I wanted to do this video. I have been wanting to do this video for a really long time, and that is talking about China and the US, kind of bridging that cultural divide. I did a video a while back on leaving Hong Kong and why I left Hong Kong, and now it's been a year and a half since I've been back officially in the US, and I can't believe it's gone so fast. But there was an article today in the South China Morning Post, and it really struck a chord and made me think, yeah, now is the time to kind of talk about this because I feel that a lot of people, if you are watching the news, you're watching the protests in China um, about the zero COVID policy, and anyone with half a brain cell working would know that you can't have a zero COVID policy because COVID is here and you can't lock yourself. You can't have a zero COVID policy because it's already out there. It's kind of like if I say something, I can't take it back because it's already out there and you've heard it and it's probably been broadcast. And so likewise, it's out there. So this was inevitable. And but that aside, the article, the opinion piece in the SCMP today was about more constructive dialogue. And they're coming, the two co-writers of the article are professors at Baylor University. And it was just published today, so you can definitely get onto SCMP and see it. I did comment on the article to say it was just so beautifully written. And the point they're trying to make is to increase dialogue, increase respectful understanding. And that's something that you guys know that I've always promoted through my role system with respect, keeping an open mind, listening and learning. And that's something that's really important to me. I feel that there's no point to bash either side. There's never any point to place blame because we all have to live here and get along. And so, in a nutshell, I completely support this article and I really want to be a part of that solution. Because I have been working on my character classes, I haven't really been posting as much on my site, but that's going to change in 2023. I'm looking forward to opening up membership so that we can have more dialogue, more discussions between people about bridging those divides. One part of that, of course, is teaching Cantonese. And I've been teaching characters and Cantonese pronunciation, and it's been going so well. It's not only rewarding, it was super rewarding for me because I'm actually seeing people learn Chinese characters in 8 weeks. They have 100 characters under their belt. In another 8 weeks, they get another 80 characters. And it's just opening up just windows and doors and it's just wonderful to see connections being made and knowledge being shared, and it's just a really wonderful way. So that's part of it, is teaching those classes. And we are starting again December 5th. If you're interested in learning, if you're just starting out, maybe you speak Cantonese, but you don't know how to read and write, I suggest that you check it out at cantolingo.com because that's where you'll find the information on level 1 and 2. Level 3, this has been an amazing development for me personally and for you if you're learning characters. I have been collaborating with Dope Chinese with Gloria, and she's in on the mainland in the Shenzhen area, and she has been teaching Cantonese full time for years now and has some really good material. I came across her site a while ago, and it's just been a really wonderful thing, and it's really opened my eyes a lot. And it's been that perfect kind of bridge, I feel, between Hong Kong Chinese, Cantonese, and mainland, because hello, they speak Cantonese in Canton province, they used to call it, right? Guangdong province. And so even though more and more, of course, they aren't, because Mandarin has become mandated in schools, and we're just kind of waiting for that to happen in Hong Kong as well. But that doesn't mean that we still can't promote and encourage the promotion along with the Save Cantonese foundation and different things going on in California at Stanford University and the community colleges there, which is awesome. But through my classes and through knowing Gloria and knowing more about what it's like on the mainland. Now, I mean, if you don't know, Hong Kong reverted to Chinese control in 1997. And I've always felt that the way it was done was just bizarre because to me it felt like the UK was like, we made this promise 99 years ago to give back the new territories, so we're going to honor it now. And isn't that a great thing? We're going to honor this commitment. We're going to go through the motions. But, and then China was like, sounds good to us. I mean, of course, they're very simplistic, but that happened without anybody really looking at educating the local population and everywhere, not just in Hong Kong, about how this was going to happen. 50 years of autonomy, and then boom, we're going to flip a switch and everything's going to be, it's just pushing it off to the next generation, which I find to be really horrible because you have to understand another thing too. Well, you have to understand a lot of stuff, right? And so do I, but that Hong Kong under the British was always one kind of taking care of the people. And it just is really sad to see that that wasn't carried forward through this process and even after. And that really is what upsets me the most because I feel that this was a done deal. This was going to happen, whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. So why not try to, at that time, educate people, bridge that gap? I've talked about this before, right? How that could have been dialogue that could have happened between. There were some things that happened, like SARS and other things that came up that kind of maybe made Hong Kong leaders change course on how things were going to happen. But it just, to me, is the saddest thing is that that didn't happen. Hong Kong was always a place where you had that rule of law and you had a sense of being taken care of, not in the sense of a welfare state because it wasn't. It was just allowing you to do what you could do to make your life better on your own. That sense of respect and responsibility was always kind of just permeated throughout. We did what we did best, you do what you do best, and it just worked. And to think about it now and how things are now, it's just something that you could say, I'm not going to worry about it, wash my hands of it, I'm leaving. But you can never leave it because it's always going to be there. And I think too, a lot of people would say, like, I mean, I've talked about this before where I feel that it was always understood that if you came to Hong Kong as a foreigner and you weren't ethnically Chinese and you didn't, weren't born there, or even if you were born there, sometimes those people have a very, very, very hard time proving that they have no other passport and they need a Hong Kong passport. So that's a whole nother category. But I'm speaking strictly of people that come there on their own volition. They love it. They live there, like, as I did for 33 years. And then it was always my understanding that I knew this was temporary. Even marrying a local, having kids there, having permanent residency, I never felt that that gave me the right to stay and live there. So that was always, again, kind of surprises me when people feel that kind of, I deserve to be here because of this. It's like, no, the rule was set from the beginning. If you didn't want to like the rule, that's up to you, but that's the way it was. But that doesn't mean, my point in saying this is it doesn't mean that you don't still have that feeling of responsibility and respect for what people are going through and the decisions that they're making based on the information at hand. So, and also too, I think one thing that I don't think I've ever shared with you guys that I would think that it's important to understand my perspective on this is that I was never in Hong Kong as an expat under an expat package. In fact, I was like the complete opposite because what happened was I went there to visit friends and then I got hired in a position as a local. And so I was always hired as a local because I wasn't brought over from overseas. But I did I found out that the company that hired me back in the day had also hired people just like me, same qualifications, same everything, and they were under the expat package and they were treated completely differently from me. The first job I had, I think 每一個月就6000蚊，6000蚊就係即係800蚊港幣，唔係800蚊美金每一個月，即係$800 is like nothing. So I was living with friends, I was rooming with family of friends, and so 我一路都係好本地嘅 life in Hong Kong. 咁 yeah 到我，所以我 my perspective maybe is a little bit more like more of that kind of um like local Hong Konger, even though I sure don't look like a local Hong Konger, but have that kind of bringing. And I didn't go to school in Hong Kong, so I didn't have that kind of you know 返學即係學中文，但係其實我返屋企媽咪爸爸就講英文，咁咧就我一路都係自己學，and then 我識咗我老公嗰陣時，即係拍拖嗰陣時，我自己一個人住喺第一城，嗰陣時就91、92年，即係未有嗰啲咩好 expensive，嗰陣時四千蚊一個月 my rent，即係500蚊一個月，第一城沙田第一城，如果我冇記錯咗就41座，就啱啱喺個巴士站對面。咁嗰陣時我自己一個人住就係咯4000蚊一個月，and then that's really really nice. But then 我識咗我老公，我同佢一齊住，咁佢媽咪爸爸住公屋，咁我哋一齊喺公屋住，即係 public housing。咁我都有呢個呢個經驗，呢個 experience 就住喺個公屋，and then 居屋都有，其實佢哋已經即係而家都係居屋住，咁所以咧就個 perspective 係好唔即a little bit different because I never was like expat package. I was always local, local, local. And yeah, so I feel a real like responsibility towards like more local people. Like it's just painful that they weren't really brought into the process of doing this. And it was just kind of treated like, yeah, you don't matter. You just follow along. But they follow along in a way that wasn't like the UK way, which was we'll take care of you because we recognize the benefit of having a stable society. But now everything is kind of ruled by fear or ruled by this like zero COVID fear. And there's more finger pointing and blaming and really not a lot of constructive dialogue going on. So read that article. It's really good. I think that I feel finally like this is a part I want to play. I can teach Cantonese, I can teach characters, and also can foster constructive dialogue between anybody who's interested. So by next month, I hope to get like kind of a membership thing going here on YouTube, and then we can start conversations publicly and then take them offline and have like live streams and things weekly. It's kind of my idea now, but I'm still kind of formulating how to go about this. I also have tons of Cantonese lessons that are up on my old teaching site. And I've got wonderful books that I might be working on for more spoken Cantonese courses because, I mean, why not learn Cantonese? There's millions and millions and millions of Cantonese speakers. And it's even though they say, we all know if they change the school system to be more like the mainland, where you're only speaking Mandarin at school and learning Mandarin in school, then Cantonese is going to become more of like just speaking at home kind of thing. And it's going to be more difficult. So I think that it's really, really important to get those lessons out there, to get more people learning, to keep it alive. And so, yeah, this has been a complete ramble. I've got so little time in between trying to get the classes up and improved for those of you who want to learn characters. And yeah, so anyway, that's a little bit more about me and how just hoping that can do something constructive. Read the South China Morning Post article if you haven't. If you like what you hear, subscribe to the channel here, and then turn the notifications on so you're notified about things that are going to be happening. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the new year and to doing more of this and connecting more with you guys all and fostering constructive dialogue with the end goal I should say, is just understanding people more, because there's been this feeling in Hong Kong about how this, Hong Kongers against the mainlanders, and how, it's caused a lot of issues in Hong Kong. And so there's anything we can do to kind of uh, bring that dialogue out to the front about bringing people more together and recognizing that Hong Kong is part of the greater Bay Area. You cannot avoid the facts of the matter. And that's the only time I have an issue with anything that's been going on in Hong Kong, is when people don't want to look at the fact and they just want to push against reality and push against that and just pretend everything is the way it was. It's not. It's not the same, and it's not going to be the same. It doesn't mean that we can't be sad about the past, because, oh my God, Hong Kong was perfection. And I can say that from a whole 即係本地嘅 perspective. I mean, perfection, the way nothing's perfect, right? But it was just, it was. That's gone, but it doesn't mean that we can't now work towards a new kind of normal in a really good and constructive, respectful way. So anyway, I do tend to wear rose-colored glasses, but looking at videos lately about the protests that are going on in China at the moment with that zero COVID policy, I think that there's going to be some big changes, and I just want to be a part of that in a constructive way. And I hope that you do too. So anyway, that's it for me. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and looking forward to the holiday season coming up. And I'm looking forward to the new year and making more connections and doing more that we can to save Cantonese and bridge, bridging the gap in understanding between the US, Hong Kong, the mainland. And again, check out, if you're learning Cantonese, check out Dope Chinese with Gloria. I've kind of pinned her on my homepage kind of thing. If you go there, you can get to her channel, or else just search it. I'll put the link in the description box. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your weekend and start of the week, and I will see you again here on my little Cantonese corner. Bye.